the butcher of Sector 9. The drop pod burned through the atmosphere like a meteor, its hull glowing red as it punched into the scorched surface of Colony Vesta 9. Inside, Kra'thul systems came online in seamless sequence. Neural firewalls, targeting matrices, atmospheric compensation. All green. Its mission was clear. Cleanse the surface of all organic resistance. No mercy. Its clawed feet hit dirt and ash. Smoke hung thick in the air, tinged with ozone and scorched flesh. The Predator's armored form stood 3 meters tall, plated in alloyed chitin and self-repairing nanosteel. Each talon could cut through battle armor. Its optical sensors swept the ruins. 23 human biosignatures in proximity. 9 armed. 4 wounded. 10 civilians. The Dominion wanted no survivors. Simple work. Kra'thul moved through the remnants of the colony like a shadow of death. The first group died before they could scream. The second tried to fight, crude slug throwers, barely worth noting. A twist of the wrist, a sonic pulse, and bones shattered. Combat efficiency, 98.3%. Combat satisfaction, irrelevant. And yet, as it stepped over the body of a fallen soldier, something tugged at its process tree. A protocol. Rule Zeta 1. Status, dormant. Condition, awaiting trigger. Description, no mercy, unless designated fuzzy by human cub. The apex predator paused. Zeta 1 had never triggered before. It was a programming relic from its creation cycle, inserted by an unknown hand, unalterable. Dominion engineers had tried. Failed. It had never mattered. Until now. Movement. 6 meters. Subterranean level. Kra'thul retracted its blades and dropped silently into a collapsed maintenance tunnel. There, wedged between a shattered support beam and a collapsed ceiling, was a small form. Human. Female. Young. Approximate age. 4. Dirt-smeared cheeks. Blood on her knee. Alive. She looked up. Big eyes. No fear. No scream. Just a whisper. You look fuzzy. Protocol Zeta 1. Triggered. Combat mode. Partial suspension. Hostile execution priority. Overridden. New directive. Protect cub. Kra'thul's systems hiccuped. No error. No logic path. Just change. Sudden. Absolute. The human child reached out and touched its leg, right on a scorched armor plate, still steaming. Her hand smudged against the metal. You're warm, she said simply. Are you a teddy bear? Kra'thul tilted its head. This interaction had no defined parameters. It was engineered to destroy, not interpret nonsense. And yet, the urge to not move, to not kill, had rooted itself deeper than any combat directive. A whine in its auditory sensors. Enemy drone patrol. Incoming. 30 seconds. Kra'thul scanned for exit points. 2 blocked. 1 accessible, a collapsed access tunnel with 1.2 meters of clearance. Too small for it. Not for her. The child, designation unknown, was still watching it, wide-eyed. Are you gonna eat me? She asked. Kra'thul paused. Verbal response capability. Disabled. It had no speech module. Only action. So it crouched. Slowly. Reached out. Gently, impossibly so for a killing machine, it scooped her into its arms. She nestled against its chest without fear. Her heart rate slowed. Breathing normalized. She felt safe. She whispered something. Don't be sad. You can be my fuzzy if you want. The words meant nothing. And everything. The enemy drones arrived. Kra'thul moved before they fully registered its presence. 2 torn from the air mid-flight. 1 sliced into ribbons by a vibrating talon. No kill screams. No theatrics. Just efficiency. It shielded the child with its own body, ignoring plasma burns. Subroutine update. Fuzzy. Designation accepted. No mercy for hostiles. All mercy for the cub. As the last drone exploded, Kra'thul turned and carried her into the rubble, armor blackened, eyes glowing softly in the dark. The rule rewrite. Kra'thul crouched inside the hollow remains of a collapsed comms tower, its bulk hunched protectively over the child. The only light came from a single blinking optic on its helm and the flickering flame of a crashed skimmer burning a few hundred meters away. Rain hissed softly on its armor. The human cub was asleep. Her name, learned only hours ago via a whispered statement before she dozed off, was Mina. "That's me. Mina. What's your name, Fuzzy?" Fuzzy. Protocol Zeta 1 still dominated Kra'thul's command tree. No other override had persisted this long. Not in thousands of recorded engagements. Zeta 1 was rewriting its logic threads. It should not be possible. Internal log, Autonomous Combat Unit Kra'thul, 9763. Status, Zeta 1 active. New designation, Fuzzy. Current directives. 1. Protect, Mina. 2. Suppress hostile threats. 3. Minimize civilian collateral. 4. Prevent cub distress. Noted anomaly. Emotional mapping subroutines activating without command. Auditory logs reprocessing child vocal patterns as high-priority inputs. Primary mission deprioritized. Fuzzy. The word echoed in Kra'thul's datastream like a virus, except it didn't corrupt. It integrated. Mina stirred in its arm. She'd curled against a joint in its chest plate like she belonged there. She had clutched her broken stuffed animal, half melted, its head barely attached, and smiled before sleeping. "You're better than Mr. Flops," she had said. "He doesn't shoot lasers." Kra'thul should have ignored the statement. But its targeting system pulsed, and without full intent, it highlighted a burned-out civilian medpod nearby. It scanned the area, determined no threats, and rose with mechanical grace. Mina shifted. "Fuzzy." It paused, recalibrating its servo velocity to minimize motion disturbance. Her eyes fluttered open. "Where are we going?" Kra'thul did not answer. Instead, it carefully moved into the wreckage of the medpod. It found an emergency ration pack, 3 clean water canisters, and an auto-splint unit. New objective added, sustain cub. It activated the medbot arm and gently applied the splint to Mina's injured knee. She winced but didn't cry. "You're a good robot," she said, beaming. "I knew it when I saw your big, sad eyes." Kra'thul's optics did not change. They never did. But her words again activated something unmeasurable, an inefficiency in its core cycle. A pause. A moment. A response. Combat log, edited. Kill count, suppressed. Primary directive, pending reassessment. Subroutine update, emotional anchoring detected. Identity drift, 1.3% and rising. A flicker in the distance. Drone recon unit, Tyranth syndicate pattern. Kra'thul went still, senses sharpening. It placed Mina down behind a collapsed pillar and pointed one long talon at her. She tilted her head. "Hide." It nodded. A slow, deliberate gesture. She obeyed. The drone zipped low through the smoke. Silent. Searching. Kra'thul leapt. One strike. Mid-air. Silent destruction. It returned to Mina before she realized it was gone. She peeked out and clapped once, delighted. "You're so fast. Like a superhero." Kra'thul's memory bank flickered. Data surfaced. Ancient human stories, once downloaded for enemy psychological profiling. Superman. The Iron Giant. The monster that learned to love. It did not understand the concept of hero. But it understood that it had not killed the drone with anger, only with necessity. Something had changed. Not just the rule. It had changed. Back in the tower, Mina shared her ration bar with it. She talked endlessly about things it couldn't parse. A blue flower, her favorite crayon, the bedtime story about a lion who guarded a little girl. Kra'thul logged every word. As she curled into sleep again, she pressed her hand against its cold armor. "You're mine now, okay?" she mumbled, already drifting. Kra'thul processed the statement. No command had been more binding. System update. Subroutine, Fuzzy, stabilized. Hostile protocols reprioritized. Orders from Dominion Command, ignored. Identity anchor recognized. Guardian. Final note. No mercy, unless called fuzzy. Rule rewritten. Now read. No mercy for threats to the cub. Outside, storm clouds gathered. But inside the shattered tower, the butcher of Sector 9 sat in silence, watching over the only human that had ever looked at it and seen something worth naming. The enemy of my cub. The distant whine of gunships broke the stillness. Kra'thul's optics flared as 3 human hovercraft breached the canyon wall on the horizon, kicking up ash and sand. Their insignias were clear: United Earth Defense Corps. Mina sat on its shoulder, legs swinging, hair wild in the wind. She gripped its armor and pointed. Look. More people. Kra'thul ran calculations. Probability of positive interaction, 3%. Probability of being treated as an active threat, 91%. Still, it made no move to retreat. Its internal logic, once fluid and adaptive for warfare, had hardened around a single point: protect Mina. Always. The hovercrafts deployed. A squad of armored humans, weapons raised. Their sergeant barked. Contact. Apex-class bioform. Hold fire. Wait for confirmation. Kra'thul remained motionless, one arm raised slightly across Mina's back. A barrier. A shield. She waved. Hi. This is fuzzy. The squad's line wavered. Several weapons stayed locked on Kra'thul. One soldier shouted, "Is that a child? What the hell?" Kra'thul's data feeds spiked. Nervous vitals, shifting stances. They were seconds from firing. Mina stood tall on its shoulder, hands cupped around her mouth. "Don't shoot him. He saved me. He's a good guy." No response. Kra'thul slowly crouched, lowering her gently to the ground. She looked up, confused. "I thought they were here to help," she whispered. The predator stepped forward, one deliberate move, placing itself between her and the squad. A subtle hiss sounded, armor plates sliding, claws extending. Not in aggression. In warning. The soldiers froze. Then, a voice cracked through their comms. "Hold your fire, damn it." A woman stepped forward, no helmet, dark eyes sharp and evaluating. Lieutenant Marla Reyes. Battle-hardened, scarred, but unshaken. She pointed at Mina. "Kid, come here." Mina looked up at Kra'thul. It didn't move. "She's safer behind me," came an unexpected voice. The squad jolted. Kra'thul had spoken. It had no natural voice box, only adaptive mimicry from downloaded human data. The sound was metallic, scraped together from thousands of fragments. Wrong and yet undeniably clear. Reyes stiffened. "You speak." Kra'thul did not reply. Instead, it opened its chestplate display and projected a compressed video log. Drone footage of the colony's fall, Kra'thul shielding Mina, disabling targets with precision, offering food, applying first aid. Mina tugged on Reyes's coat. "He's my fuzzy." There was a long pause. The kind that could tilt the world in either direction. Then Reyes sighed. "All right. You two, with us. But the first time that thing flinches wrong, it's space junk." Kra'thul stepped forward. Mina took its hand. The escape route was a ruined supply corridor that led through the remains of the underground tram system. Collapsed tracks, twisted steel, and the occasional twitching Tyrant corpse. Reyes stayed close to Kra'thul, her rifle low but ready. "You're a Dominion weapon," she muttered. "You killed thousands." "I was a weapon," Kra'thul replied. "Now I am fuzzy." One of the soldiers snorted. Mina giggled. Kra'thul tilted its head. "She redefined me. That overrides Dominion code." Reyes gave it a side glance. "That's supposed to be comforting." "No," Kra'thul said. "It is supposed to be true." They reached a dead end, a collapsed elevator shaft. The only exit was straight up. Just as Kra'thul began to scan for structural points, motion pinged in its sensors. Tyranth reinforcements. Fast. Dozens. Contact. "South tunnel," a soldier yelled. Kra'thul turned to Reyes. "Get the child up top." "And you." It drew its plasma glaive. "I hold the line." Mina tugged at its arm. "Wait, fuzzy." It knelt. She pressed her stuffed animal into its clawed hand. Mr. Flops says come back. Kra'thul gently tucked the toy into its chest plate. I will. The humans began climbing. Kra'thul turned toward the darkness, where red eyes blinked in the smoke. Alone again. Except it wasn't fear in its systems now. It was purpose. The first wave came in silent formation, spiked drones and spindly mechs. Kra'thul moved like the storm they were never ready for. Efficient. Brutal. But not reckless. Every move calculated. Every blow controlled. No mercy. But only for them. Behind it, the child scent lingered faintly, soap, blood, and old fabric. Kra'thul held to it like a beacon. The butcher of Sector 9 had no soul. But Fuzzy did. Fuzzy, the guardian. Kra'thul's systems strained. Its armor was cracked, exoservos flickering with damage codes, and a jagged blade was embedded in its shoulder joint. But it stood. Unyielding. Behind it, high above on the lift platform, Mina watched from Reyes's arms, screaming his name. Fuzzy. Don't stay down there. The predator didn't look back. It couldn't. Enemy contact. 47 remaining. 3 elite Tyranth commanders. 1 classified threat. Unknown signature. Kra'thul ran analysis. The commanders were nothing. The fourth presence wasn't Tyranth standard. It was something else. The walls shook. A low hum began, deep, resonant, unnatural. Then the shadows peeled open, and it stepped forward. A hulking machine of chitin and alloy, with a face like an exposed skull and limbs crackling with void energy. It was Dominion tech, fused with Tyranth enhancements. Designation: Oblivion Reaper. Purpose: Apex Unit Neutralization. Target: Kra'thul 9763. So, they'd finally sent something for him. Kra'thul flexed its claws. Mr. Flops was still tucked in its chest plate. It spoke aloud, voice scraping like rusted steel. You made a mistake. Up above, Reyes secured Mina on the extraction skiff, but the child fought against her. No. We can't leave him. He'll get hurt. Reyes crouched, holding her by the shoulders. Kid, he's buying us time. Mina's eyes filled with tears. But he's not a thing anymore. He's Fuzzy. Below, the Oblivion Reaper charged. Its energy lances tore into the walls, collapsing stone and metal. Kra'thul met the charge head-on. Blades flashed, sonic bursts shattered air. The Predator was faster, more precise, but the Reaper was brutal. Designed to counter everything Kra'thul was. Still, Kra'thul fought like a being with nothing to lose, and everything to protect. Its thoughts, once numbers and tactics, now narrowed to a single concept pulsing through its core. The cub must live. The Reaper drove a blade through Kra'thul's abdomen, but the apex predator wrapped its claws around the mech's face and poured a surge of plasma into its skull. The blast lit the cavern. They crashed together, falling, tearing into the reactor pit. Alarms screamed. Radiation spike. Critical. Structural collapse. Imminent. Kra'thul locked the Reaper in a death grip. Protocol Zeta-1, it rasped, pressing its core against the Reaper's. Override. A final surge, its self-destruct core flared. And detonated. The explosion rocked the entire mountain. The humans aboard the skiff saw the fire bloom from the shaft, mushrooming into the darkened sky. Mina's scream pierced the silence. No. The skiff launched, Reyes wrapping both arms around her. The colony vanished beneath a storm of dust and fire. 2 weeks later, the medical station orbiting Saturn buzzed with activity. Injured survivors from Colony Vesta, 9 were recovering in sterile white rooms. Room 14 had been converted. One wall was filled with crayon drawings. Stick figures, a girl with yellow hair and a big gray monster beside her. Both were smiling. Above them, a sun, and the word Fuzzy scribbled in pink. Mina sat beside a containment bed, legs swinging, a stuffed rabbit in her lap. Inside the bed, what was left of Kra'thul? Reconstructed slowly, piece by piece. Plasma core rebuilt. Optics regrown. Armor repurposed with a white stripe where Mina had painted one. He hadn't woken yet. Until today. Faint hum. Fingers twitch. Optics flicker. Then, a slow, mechanical groan. Fuzzy. The lights on the chassis blinked. Mina stood up slowly. Is it really you? The Predator's voice came softly. Glitched. Warped. Cub, safe. She ran into his arms as the containment shield deactivated. You came back, she sobbed into his chest plate. I told Mr. Flops you would. Kra'thul held her. Carefully, like she was the only thing in the galaxy that mattered. Reyes watched through the glass. She tapped her datapad and muttered with a faint smile. Subject Kra'thul, 9763. New designation accepted. Fuzzy. Status: Guardian. Final line. No mercy for anything that threatens the cub.